Hello, my name is Fat Zoid, and if you clicked on this channel and you clicked on this video specifically, you did it for a reason. Now, what is that reason? Well, you're struggling. You are struggling in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So, I'm here to help. Now, I am someone who hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was around 10 years old. Hint, I'm 28. So it was quite a while ago. The last set that came out when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh was I think it's called Invasion of Chaos. It was when Chaos Emperor Dragon came out, and I haven't touched the game since. And I recently got on Master Duel, and I was able to achieve Plat 1 very quickly. It was a very easy learning curve, but the thing is, I am very used to playing card games. I've hit the highest levels on Hearthstone, MTG Arena, you name it. I mean, can't think of any other card games right off the top of my head. But the thing is, a lot of these card games have the similar patterns in the sense of you can read a card and you can almost instinctually know this card's going to be very good. Now, it's a little different with complex cards, but let's go through what has helped me the most through getting to Plat 1. All right, so the first things first, before we even get into the game, I want you to get familiar with this website. So, it is called www.duellinksmeta.com. It's created by another YouTuber slash Twitch streamer. He does, I think he does like these tournaments every week. He has very good content, and I think that's his name exactly, Duel Links Meta. So this is Duel Links Meta. Very good content. I would say check him out. Awesome stuff. So this is a website that I'm pretty sure he created. So it has a lot of Duel Links content. So Duel Links is another mobile game. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed dueling. That's what it's called. So you got Master Duel Meta right here. So click on this. This is what's going to be pertaining to you because you're trying to do this. There's a tier list. You can take this as you will. I think it goes off of raw data, or just he's updating it using the data from his tournaments and ranked ladder. Not 100% sure how he gets the ranked ladder unless he has some type of dealing with Konami. I don't know if that's like public stuff or he's just getting it from his audience, because he has a pretty sizable audience. Like, so it makes sense. We can cut that out. So he has a tier list. Tier list is pretty useful to go by. Just know all decks on this tier list, they're all freaking good. They're all really good. So if you want to build any deck on this tier list, you're gonna have a good time on the ladder. Now, if you're like me and you like playing more obscure things, you can go to this top decks list. You see how the filters last 7 days. You can even put the last 2 weeks. And this is what people have been playing. So, like, you have a lot of people playing Zodiac, a lot of people playing Drytron. Drytron and Zodiac, this is going to make you want to, like, smash your head against the wall. An Emancipator, this is, these decks are all very good. Okay? You can hit Plat Tier 1 with any deck, though. Okay? I recommend, if you're not good at building decks, you're not good at you're just starting out, like I assume a lot of people are, or they're just coming back to the game after a long hiatus, I would recommend going through the list, seeing how these decks play. You can, let's say you're interested in heroes because you have a fetish for Jade and Yuki. You can click on this. You can go, okay, let's see how this person built the deck. And you're like, okay, how does this work? How does this deck work? Because you haven't played this game since 10, 15 years. You can just probably go to YouTube right after, right? You can do Heroes Deck Master Duel. And you see people playing Heroes. Look, you got Team Samurai, you got Sam. He's really good. He has really good content too. You can literally go to any one of these people, see how the deck's played, see if you would enjoy that, and then build it. Now, would I recommend something like Heroes? Not really. First of all, it's an insane amount of ultra rares from a bunch of different sets. Uh the only thing that's good is it's using Ash Blossom, Maxi, and Droplet, which are like pretty decent staples. But other than that, like it's a lot of ultra rares. So, but the thing is, you can build any deck. Like, if you really want to build heroes, go for it. Nobody's gonna be stopping you. Your first tip. So, tip number one is go to Master Duel, masterduelmeta.com. Go to top decks. Find what you want to play. Because remember, you can hit tier 1 as anything. You can hit plat tier 1 as anything. I recommend if you are newer to the game, do not overcomplicate things. Play one of these decks. These decks are not very hard to play. They're pretty easy. They're pretty brain dead. Like, you need, I think, like 3 fucking brain cells to play any of these. Actually, I don't know why I'm tossing out Eldritch is like one of the most brain dead decks. So you don't need much brain power to activate these. Like if you're gonna be like if you want to play like a combo deck where you're doing a first turn kill or you're let's say you're doing a first turn kill or you're building a massive like negate board, like maybe some of these other decks might not be the best for you because their combo is a little more complicated. You'll get a lot of losses that way. But you can always experiment later. Once you get the combos down and stuff, you should be able to climb to plat 1. So the first, figure out what deck you want to play. And then once you got that, it's time to go on to Master Duel. So, boom, you're here. They give you roughly, right in the beginning of logging into this game, and you doing a lot of solo missions, you get probably around like 12 to 13,000 gems, which is enough to build pretty much any deck you want. Okay? Just to give you an idea, I have 6 on my new account that I just made. I have 6 samurais built, and I built like a weird armed dragon deck, which I haven't been playing yet. But like, just that kind of gives you an idea on what you're able to do when you first log into a brand new account. Tip that I'm going to be giving you is complete the solo challenges. Complete this. Do not start dueling real people until you do the solo challenges. Why am I saying this? Because you know what happens when I on my second account when I started queuing up after I did the solo challenges, completed my deck and everything. You know what happened? I started queuing up. I was playing in rookie rank 2, and I swear to God, every single person I played against, all the way until gold, even in gold sometimes, I don't know how they got the gold, but even in gold sometimes, their deck is so jank and so disgustingly bad that they have zero chance of winning. And I know they're probably just doing it to try and get their little ranked missions completed or whatever. But honestly, doing the solo mode content takes you a few hours at max. And the only reason it takes a few hours is is honestly because of how long like sometimes the interactions take. Like summon a card, like it's not instantaneous. So like it takes you maybe like 2 to 3 hours max doing the solo mode content. And honestly, to build your first deck, you don't even need to complete all the solo mode content. So that's my second biggest tip. Complete the solo mode content. Practice at the game, especially since you're not used to it. right? Practice all the new summonings if you're not used to. Like I had to get used to pendulum summoning. I had to get used to link summoning. I had to get used to what is it? Synchro summoning was new because I never watched the guys in the motorcycles. I honestly hated that. I what's it? Link summon XZ summoning. Thought that was weird as shit. Uh, so get used to all the summonings by doing the solo mode content. That's one of my best things I can say because if you start dueling in here, you might start beating people, but like it's gonna take you so much longer than you just building your first good deck and then playing it. Another thing, the third tip I'm going to be giving you is knowing how your deck plays and what you're supposed to be doing it. What is your game plan with the deck? I am playing Spiral. The game plan of Spiral is to go first and set up an invincible board. Okay? But this is kind of what I want you to understand. Just know whatever deck that you are playing, you're going to have to. The opponent conceded right here because he knew I had pretty much everything to combo off completely. Um, it kind of I'm just trying to show you when you're playing this game, right? You have to have an idea of what your deck does. So let's say you take one of these decks, right? You're playing Drytron. Is Drytron a turn one deck or a turn two deck? So you have to ask yourself, like whatever deck you end up playing, look at the list here. It has some turn two cards, don't get me wrong. You have Forbidden Droplet. Like you have some action here that will allow you to play some like turn two. But let's be honest, you're running two Called by the Grave. This is a turn one deck. The whole point of this deck is to get this Herald of Ultimateness out, and you just counter everything your opponent does. And you have to think about that with any deck that you play. Like, I know it sounds so basic, but like, understand your game plan is what I'm gonna say as rule 3. The fourth tip you want to follow is when you are doing your plays, pay attention to what you're like, whatever you're using, why it stops. So if you're using a search spell, that could mean multiple things. That could mean he has Maxi in hand, he has Ash in hand, or he has if you have a creature out on the field, he might have effect failure because I'll pop either way, right? Your 5 special summon, you're not feeling anything, and then on your 5th special summon, you start to get uh, they start to get priority. That's a Nibiru. You need to go into an Appaloosa, or you might just be fucked. I don't know if you have an out for it, depending on what your board looks like, but like that's a clear tell sign they have a Nibiru. Um, so that just that is very underrated because it allows you to make better plays. It allows you to be like, oh, they have an Ash and they have a Maxi in hand. Um, am I playing through it if they cast it? Most people will just play Maxi right in the beginning. Like honestly, they don't even think about it half the time. But just be careful when playing against Maxi because if you can't kill them or you can't set up an invincible board, don't allow them to draw the entire deck because you're most likely going to lose. Uh, and the last tip I'm going to be giving everyone, right, is read your damn cards. Read your cards. It's not very hard to do. I'm gonna pull up my decks right now. I'll pull up spirals. Like this is what I want to point out. You have something like Called by the Grave, right? Do you know how many times I activated Called by the Grave on an Ash Blossom on my opponent's turn, and then or like I Called by the Grave their Ash Blossom on their because they used Ash Blossom against my Maxi, and Then it comes to my turn, right? And I try to use one of my search spells, and they Ash Blossom like me again. This card, if you read it, it says until the end of the next turn. End of the next turn. So until the end of my turn, all the effects are negated. I feel like people. This is insanely good against Eldritch, by the way, but it boggles my mind how many times people don't fully read cards. I am a victim of that too. I read I skim through the card because it has a lot of text, and I don't read. Oh, this actually has a secondary ability to it. I can't think of any times I've done it off the top of my head. I'm trying to think. Oh, perfect. Actually, perfect card. So this card right here, when I was playing Six Samurais, the first time I was ever playing it, I didn't realize whatever warrior card you add to your hand, you cannot cast for the rest of the turn. So I ended up adding like Kizan to my hand, and it's like your main combo card, one of your main combo pieces. And I just was like, oh, I guess I concede now. But the thing is, I made this mistake in solo mode. I didn't do it in ranked because I was I was playing quickly just to get the win, just to quickly get a win. But it was good I made the mistake because now I know whatever warrior card you add to your hand, you can't use it for the rest of the turn. So add something useless. Um. So yeah, these are kind of the decks I'm running. I have Musket. I will be honest. I climbed to Plat 1 using Sky Striker. So I went to Plat 5 quickly with Cyber Dragon because it was a very fast deck. And when you're playing against a lot of dummies, you can kill people very quickly with this. Uh, and then once I got to Plat 5, I just swapped to Sky Striker because I knew I was going to play against Eldritch and a bunch of other really annoying card decks. Uh, so I was just like, let me just swap to this because this is my secondary deck that I built. And yeah, it did its job. I think I had like an insane win record too with it. If you want more content like this, or if you're interested in any specific topic videos relating to Yu-Gi-Oh, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it, and I plan on posting quite frequently. So, bye.
People are so strange.